We begin with a Western Mass News exclusive. Days after a former teacher with Arbors Kids in East Longmeadow was charged in connection with child abuse reports, another family is stepping forward. Good Friday evening, everyone. I'm Chris Pisano.
And I'm Beth Ward. That family says that their son was involved in an incident while he was a student at the facility in the spring. Western Mass News reporter Audrey Russo joins us now in the studio with the details. Audrey?
The reported incident involving the Yvonne family happened in March of 2019, months before the November abuse reports that led to the firing of Arbors Kids teacher Jennifer Callahan weeks ago, and now criminal charges. The family claims their child's incident was never reported to DCF or EEC by Arbors officials, though they say the teacher involved in that one was fired in the spring. After seeing these more recent allegations of abuse, they say they had to speak out.
He was in their pre-K program in the spring last year, and it was involved in an incident with a teacher.
On March 22nd of 2019, Matthew and Katie Yvonne say they picked their son up from Arbors Kids in East Longmeadow. They say what they thought was a normal day at daycare quickly unraveled as the child told his parents about his afternoon.
He told us that the teacher hurt him.
The Yvonnes say they sat down with the program's directors.
They fired the teacher immediately. They told us that they would report that incident to DCF, and so we just went along with it and thought they would follow through because they're mandated by the state.
But after hearing about the abuse allegations from November that led to the firing of Jennifer Callahan weeks ago, the Yvonnes say they reached out to DCF directly last month. They say they wanted to see if the March incident involving their child had ever been reported.
I called DCF and they didn't have a record of it. As soon as I found out that the incident wasn't reported, I reported it to DCF, so they could do an investigation.
Western Mass News reached out to Arbors officials about the March incident involving the Yvonne's son. They confirmed the teacher was, quote, terminated at the time of the incident. The Department of Early Education and Care and the Department of Children and Families are aware of this incident, and that is part of their ongoing investigation. But they would not confirm when the agencies were made aware of it, or if any teachers actually reported the incident. We reached out to DCF and EEC. The latter would only confirm there was an open investigation into the program. They would not say how many other complaints they received outside of the two alleged incidents involving the 2-year-old from this November. The Yvonnes say they have since pulled their children from all Arbors Kids programs.
Who's telling that child that it was wrong? It wasn't their fault that they were hurt.
They say if their son hadn't told them he was hurt by a teacher, they doubt any action would have been taken. And they want to see the daycare held accountable.
I would like to see a lot of people losing their jobs and not working around kids anymore because they knew what was going on and they let it happen. And I'd like to see the parents stick together and band together and demand the highest level of care for our little kids, our babies.
We also reached out to the East Longmeadow police. They say the only other complaint they've received against Arbors Kids was a few years ago when an employee was fired for bringing a gun to school. Reporting live in the studio, Audrey Russo for Western Mass News.